breaking down everything we know about the Survivor 44 cast. That's right, I didn't stutter. We are talking about Survivor Season 44 when Survivor Season 43 hasn't even started airing yet. Survivor 44 won't air on TV until next year, meaning this is an insanely early cast assessment where we are diving into the darkest corners of the internet to gather as much information on these new players as we possibly can. Don't worry, we are avoiding spoilers and boot lists from Survivor 44 and strictly talking about the players on the season using their Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even audition videos from Survivor 44.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon Cottom. I am 28 years old. I'm from Newtown, Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, sorry. Hurley wanted to come in and ruin my intro. Even though it's like the 10th time I've done it, it's okay.
Drop the 3, 2, 1 and leave the 4 because we are talking about the Survivor Season 44 cast and assessing all the extremely early predictions. Also, take a look at the sneak peek of the logo. Looks like we'll be sticking with the numbers and without a theme for Survivor 44 as Jeff Probst continues to turn into the monster with his new era.
Just remember, history is merely an indicator of what might happen in the future. Next season, the monster may have a much, much bigger appetite.
Remember, no boot lists and no spoilers, simply the Survivor 44 cast assessment. So make sure to stay watching until the very end so that you don't miss out on anyone from this cast of 18 new Survivor players.
MMA, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, that's all great for fighting. But karate kicks get chicks. It's the move of the day.
Without going in any particular order, we're starting things off with Danny Massa. Danny is 31 years old from New York, and is currently a firefighter. From Danny's Instagram account, we can quickly notice he loves living a healthy and strong lifestyle. That means working out and boxing. That's right, boxing. Here's a video from 2019 of Danny boxing for the FDNY or Fire Department of New York Club. Look for Danny Massa to be highly competitive in Fiji, helping his tribe to lots of victories early on in the game. Next up, also from New York, we have Claire Rafson. Claire is a 25-year-old investor from Brooklyn, New York. She studied history with a minor in economics from Dartmouth and recently became Aniac's newest investment professional. She knows when it's time to grind with this video of her shotgunning a double shot of espresso Starbucks. And in her free time, she loves to watch Broadway musicals and ride her e-scooter around Brooklyn. I guess it depends on what you think about the crypto space, but Claire is having conversations about NFTs and crypto on Twitter. Next on Survivor 44, we have Carson Garrett. This is one of those people in the cast that we don't have much information to go off of. Carson is 20 years old from Atlanta, Georgia, and is an aerospace engineering student. I'm not even going to pretend like I have the slightest idea what that means, but he has a picture in front of NASA and his bio talks about being a NASA Lucy ambassador. Obviously, Carson is insanely smart, so he has that going for him while playing Survivor, but I don't expect much as he's going to be the youngest player on the season, and young people haven't performed well so far in this new era.
JD?
Yeah.
Travis Smoke. Time for you to go.
Talking about young people, we also have Frannie Martin, who is entering Survivor 44 as the youngest female on the cast. Frannie is a 23-year-old research coordinator from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Anyway, if this was Survivor Cagayan, Frannie would be a perfect fit for the Brains tribe with that Instagram bio probably thinking about brains. She's currently doing research on the mind-body connection and exploring the use of mindfulness as a therapeutic tool. And obviously a Survivor superfan, when not engaged in research, she can be found reading a book, searching for mushrooms on a hike, or watching the TV show Survivor. Frannie has even had a Survivor-themed birthday cake for her 20th birthday.
Hi, my name is Frannie Merritt, and I've been nominated to do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge by my friend Claire and my cousin Allison.
Going from the youngest player to the oldest player on Survivor 44 is Bruce Parshall. Bruce is 45 years old from Warwick, Rhode Island, and is a Navy veteran and realtor. Right from his Instagram bio, he's a dad with 2 kids and a devoted husband. The problem is that his account is private, but if we dive a little bit deeper, we notice he has a public account dedicated to real estate. And here's a picture of his family where he's coaching his daughter's sports team. Very active in his family's life, he's also been seen cheering on his son's basketball game. It's always a toss-up how older players will do going into Survivor. I could see Bruce either playing like Roxroy from Survivor 42 and enjoying the experience, or Mike and having a little more strategic gameplay. And the oldest female in the cast is 42-year-old Heidi Lagares-Greenbelt. Heidi is a product developer from Clarington, Pennsylvania, and unlike most older women that go out and play Survivor, I think she has tons of potential. There's just so many positive things to go off of, whether it be her colorful Instagram where she's outdoorsy, super invested into the fitness world, an entire Instagram account dedicated dedicated to traveling to all 7 continents, filing for patents to protect countless inventions, or even competed in a 34-mile marathon. From first glance, Heidi Lagares-Greenbelt has the social, strategic, and physical potential of a top-tier Survivor player. Next up, we have an ex-professional athlete with that verified badge on Instagram with Brandon Cottom. Brandon is a 29-year-old retired NFL player from the Seattle Seahawks from Seattle, Washington. But on top of that, we also got a sneak peek of Brandon's thought process going into Survivor with his audition tape.
I think my strengths would really be the fact that, you know, I can kind of fit into any kind of scenario, any group of people that you put me into. I'm going to find a way to gel with at least a couple of them.
Next up is Lauren Hart. She's a 30-year-old teacher from Baytown, Texas. Lauren's life is centered around being an educator, mom, and living life. Without a doubt, she gives off that exact vibe on her Instagram. My only issue with Lauren is not being able to fit in with the younger generation with not knowing how Twitter works. But talking about Texas, Russell Hantz is also from Texas. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you already know what I'm about to say. I'm on a mission to pass Russell Hantz and be the most subscribed to Russell in the Survivor YouTube community. If you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I'm excited to announce Survivor 44 will have a Canadian participant on the season. Maybe a little conspiracy theory, but after the Canadian domination in this new era with back-to-back Canadian winners, I was worried we wouldn't see Canadians ever again on Survivor with zero Canadian representation on Survivor 43. Kane Fritzler fixes that with Survivor 44. Instantly my winner pick. Kane is in his 20s and is a law student from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. His Instagram account is private, so that's not useful, but we get this nice bio from the Saskatchewan Law Review. Kane is an advocate for mental health awareness in law. Outside of law school, Kane enjoys conversations, amateur astronomy, and playing all forms of games. Sarah Wade is the next player on our list and is from New Rochester, Minnesota. Sarah Wade is a 26-year-old consultant. In fact, Sarah is private on Instagram, but we have an inside scoop as she accepted our follow request. From the look of her Instagram, Sarah is out there living her best life, traveling the world and living life to the fullest. And we are officially crossing the halfway point of the Survivor 44 cast with Yamil. If you would like to see a video discussing the try breakdown of Survivor 44, make sure to like this video. If this video gets 250 likes, I'll make that happen. Anyway, Yamil is a 35-year-old beautician from San Juan, Puerto Rico, making Yamil the very first resident from an American territory to play Survivor. He'll be using the nickname Yam Yam in the game. Next up, we have Jamie Lynn Ruiz, who is actually TikTok famous. That's right, we have an influencer on Survivor 44. 236,000 followers on TikTok, 4,600 followers on Instagram, 17 followers on Twitter, and 72 subscribers on YouTube. Yes, that checks out right as being TikTok famous. Jamie Lynn Ruiz is 35 years old from Mesa, Arizona, and her entire TikTok account is based on vegetables. Like literally hundreds of videos about vegetables.
Yes, it's true. Loofahs come from the loofah plant. They're so much fun to grow.
Maddie Pamela is our next player from Survivor 44, and let's just say she loves Jeff Probst. Her username on TikTok and Instagram is Jeff Probst Can You Hear Me? Maddie Pamela is a 28-year-old from Huntington, Maryland, and her job is currently unknown. However, her account is private, meaning we'll have to wait until Survivor 44 to see what she's like. Joshua Wilder, or Dr. Joshua Wilder, is a 34-year-old podiatrist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know what a podiatrist is, but if I was a betting man, I would say an ankle and foot specialist based on this video.
My name is Dr. Joshua Wilder, and I'm a physician with Ankle and Foot Centers of Georgia. I'm a native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio.
In fact, I was able to find a testimonial for Joshua. Dr. Wilder is not only professional, but he is kind and caring as well. I would highly recommend him. After seeing another podiatrist that didn't share the same bedside manner, it made me even more appreciative to find Dr. Wilder. I'm personally excited to see this guy play Survivor, as he knows I exist viewing one of my Instagram stories. The next player is Matthew Grinstead Male, and this individual has a story written about him on the New York Times. Matthew is a 43-year-old from Columbus, Ohio. Anyway, the story goes, Matt was staring at his last paycheck when he made about $1,000 a week working as a waiter. His husband is a barbershop owner where sadly that too closed down. The couple went into Survivor mode and have now applied for a small business loan to save their barbershop. I also guarantee he knows how to start a fire, as he has a picture on his Instagram sitting by a campfire. Next up is Carolyn Wigger. Carolyn is a 35-year-old drug abuse counselor from Stillwater, Minnesota. Fun, cool, nice, looks like she has an awesome family, but more importantly, I actually have an inside scoop about how Carolyn will play Survivor. If you're unaware, a portion of the online Survivor community loves these things called online reality games, or org for short, and a member of my Discord server hosted a Survivor org where Carolyn was a contestant on. If you want to chat with more Survivor fans, I highly recommend joining my Discord server. I'll place a link to it in the description. Anyway, Carolyn is known to be an extremely emotional person, which is what makes her so fun to watch. She has a heartfelt backstory about her 2 brothers died in a drunk driving accident, which is why she became a substance abuse counselor. She plays with her emotions, which is what will get in her way. If someone betrays her, she's likely to have a complete mental breakdown. In this online reality game, Carolyn ran things into the final 4 and hustled one guy out of all of his advantages. This is someone who I'm super pumped to see play Survivor. The last female we must talk about is Helen Lee. Helen is 28 years old and is a product manager from San Francisco, California. She is also a fact-checking intern for the Rest of the World organization. And the final player on the season 44 cast is Matt. I have literally nothing on Matt, not even a last name. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click right here for every Survivor winner ranked worst to best.